Hello, good morning. So, back to YouTube. I'm not going to promise it's going to be frequent because I say this every time and it's not, but we'll try. So, today is Tuesday, the 5th of September. It's 9:24 a.m. So, I suppose I'll just do a brief update where we're at the moment. So, in off season, last video was prep, had 2 attempts at prep this year. First time, weight wasn't dropping. Second time, bloating, digestion, it all went off. Don't know the reason for it, but coming out of it just was the right thing to do. So not competing this year, obviously. Hopeful for next year. Not sure when next year. I have sort of initially thought July, then I thought maybe March, but it might not work out with work, so it might be May. I don't know. Once show dates are out, I'll be able to decide because I have my rota up until next August, so I'll know. So I'll wait till show dates come out, but we've got provisional timelines set up just sort of so that I have a bit of something to work towards. So off season, yes, but yesterday started a diet phase. So basically quite a few things have changed. So it's 10 weeks since I finished my last attempt at prep. So we've obviously been slowly increasing food for 10 weeks, trying to get strong, trying to grow. Went on holiday about 10 days ago. Ended up coming back from that feeling quite soft. The plan was to push up for another 5-ish weeks and then diet. So a mini diet was always coming. I was just feeling quite soft. Also, a lot of my injuries are playing up, so I can't really push in the gym at the minute. So it just kind of made sense to start the diet early, and I've been kind of really keen to diet as well, so I'm happy to start it early. It was my idea, so that's what we're doing. Started yesterday. There's a rough timeline of 10 weeks put on it. It could be less, it could be more. I just want to see what things look like, how I feel, because if we are going to prep and compete early next year, prep might have to start after Christmas, and I want to have a bit of pushing up time between this diet and prep, so we'll just have to see. But yeah, started yesterday just with some food drops. Yohimbine in at a low dose. Expenditure is 20 minutes of cardio on a rest day and 10k steps, which is what it has been for a little while. The other major change is that I'm now being coached by my boyfriend Cam. He's been coaching me for I think 3 to 4 weeks now. I get quite a bit of input as well. We modified my training a bit just in terms of changing a few movements I wasn't happy with. He does all of my nutrition and food, and he does most of everything, but I just get to have a bit of input, which is lovely. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. We've also started our own coaching called CM Physiques. You can check it out on Instagram, and we're slowly building up our client base, and it's going really well and it's really enjoyable. And we've also got clients, and then we also do some educational videos and things for them too, and we've got our Instagram page. So that's taking off and it's really fun. I have had some issues with low mood, mental health recently, and I've actually been off work for about 5 weeks, but I'm going back on Thursday, and I'm actually excited to go back because being at home all the time is getting really boring. I needed it when I first went off, but I'm ready to go back. I feel so much better. Obviously, mental health, when you suffer from sort of low mood, it doesn't just go away, but you do have periods of time where it's better, and right now I feel great. So I'm super excited to get back to work. I'm actually going back less than full time. This is something I'd wanted to do for ages, for multiple reasons. It's actually nothing to do with my mental health. It was more with the Crohn's that I have. Energy levels are a bit rubbish when I end up doing lots of long shifts in a row, so it will help with that, and that was the main reason. But I also just feel like it'll give me more time to do things and probably indirectly help my stress. So I'm excited for that. It means I have more time to give to coaching, more time for me. It is a slight pay cut, but I'm willing to accept that because the way my rota looks is just great. That, you know, the long shifts in a row are less, and that's all I wanted. And I'm also officially starting my obstetrics and gynecology training program this week. So I'm really excited for that because it'll just feel like I have a bit of a goal with work because I didn't really feel like that. So I'll have an exam to do in January, and lots of work to be doing for that. So it'll keep me focused. But I'm just super excited for this diet. I'm obviously upset about the injuries. My injuries are, I've got, my right knee has been a problem for years. I've had some physio and that really helped before, and I did get a very long period where it wasn't a problem, but recently it's sort of flared up. Things that actually annoy it the most are using the bike for cardio, so I'm not doing that anymore. We also had a very long delay at the airport last week, and lying around, my knee just cramped up, and that seems to have what really contributed to the pain. Training legs does hurt it, but it's not, doesn't seem to be the major cause. But obviously I can't train legs at the minute. I don't know how long I'll have to take off legs. And then my delt has always been a problem as well. It started playing up at the weekend, so we'll see how push goes next time we do it, which will be in 2 days time. But it's a pull day today, so obviously what I'm doing is alternating push, rest, pull, rest this week, and then when we have check-in on Sunday, we'll decide what can I add in other things, or leave it as is. I've also started doing a pole fit class once a week on a Wednesday, because that's my non-working day, so it means I'll always make it on time. It's really, really fun. It is so hard. People do not realise how hard it is until you try it, but it's really fun. I just wanted to do something that didn't feel like, that wasn't bodybuilding in my week. I think it'll help with strength, and it's fun. And you know, I used to be a dancer and I miss it a lot, so it kind of adds a bit of that in as well. I've also started a stretch class on a Saturday morning, which I feel like I really, really need, and it'll probably help my injuries. Anyway, I've rambled on enough, but the plan for today is I'm going to do a wee bit of stuff in the house now, then a pull session, which I'll show you. It's supposed to have hamstrings in it, but we'll not be doing any legs, but we'll do all the back stuff and biceps. And then the rest of the day will just be have a bit of work to do for a course next week, and also grocery shopping. But that's it really. So I hope you enjoy. I'm sorry I didn't want to talk loads at the start, but it has happened. But I suppose there's a lot to update you on. I think I've told you everything. But yeah, let's see how we go. Okay guys, just about to head to the gym here. It's about a 6-7 minute drive from my house, which is awesome. As I said earlier, it is a pull session, so we will do some lat work, upper back work, rear delts, biceps. Normally do some hamstrings, but as I said, I'm not doing anything that causes knee pain this week, any sort of leg movements. And then, why am I breathless? And then we'll reassess on Sunday at check-in about what I can and can't do. I'll probably very slowly reintroduce movements when I get to reintroduce them. If my delt starts to feel better, because at the minute I'm alternate day training, which I find really boring, so if my delt gets a bit better and I can cope with doing 2 upper days in a row, like push-pull, I'll start doing that. So we'll just reassess. Kind of written myself my own wee recovery program in terms of how we'll do things, and then I just bring it to Cam every week and we'll go through it. So yeah, pull day, and then finish with some abs, because I'm doing abs 4 days a week, so try and do it with every session. Usually means that, you know, because I usually train about 4 days a week, sometimes 5, so sometimes I'll get a break from abs one of the sessions. Don't like training abs, but need them, so we'll do it. But yeah, that's me off, and I will show you what we are up to in the gym. So this is first movement here. We've got the Atlantis single arm cable row for lat focus. So I always do single arm things with my weaker arm first. So on this machine it is the right, then I'll move on to the left. Sometimes with the left arm I'll get an extra rep or 2, which is fine. So this is one of my favourite movements for lats. I just really feel the lat working. Get a nice stretch sort of as you stretch out towards the machine, and then a nice squeeze right into that lat. Since making this, I've changed my training a bit, so this is obviously a pull session, but I'm now doing upper lower, but I've kept this exercise in because, as I said, it's one of my favourites. It's still quite new to me. I've only been running it sort of a couple of months, if even, but I really, really love it. So another movement for lats that I have also kept into my new upper lower split, single arm cable pull down. For lat focus, as I said, this one I've done the right side already, and then this is obviously my stronger side, the left. Making sure I get that nice squeeze as we come in, slight stretch up, but not enough that the shoulder's moving. Making sure that I'm as close to the cable as possible with the bench so that it's an up and down motion rather than a row. Stabilizing myself with the opposite hand on the bench, making sure that my body stays in the one place and not swinging back and forth. This is obviously another lat focus row, single arm on the prime. I've taken this out because, well, I don't really feel I need this many lat movements in my session now that I'm doing upper twice a week. And I've also taken it out just because I think I had to sort of narrow things down. So with this one, it's very heavy to get up. I think that, you know, there's not that much load on that, and me progressing this, it's going to become more difficult to try and sort of get it up for single arm. So I just find the other movements better. That's, you know, and sort of less difficult to perform, and that's why I've taken this one out. I may bring it back in at some point because I'm going to probably reassess my training every 10 weeks or so and see if there's anything I'd like to change, because I do feel it's a nice movement, but it's just not my favourite out of the ones that I had been doing. This is another movement I've kept in. We're now moving on to upper back. So this is an upper back row on the cable, using an assister lift or 1MR bar, whichever you want to call, and I've attached, I've used the widest outermost holds on it, just whatever's good for your back width, and attached some D handles, and I'm using a neutral grip with protraction and retraction of my shoulders, which is the difference between an upper back movement and a lat movement, and body trying not to swing too much. It does inevitably happen a little bit, but not too much. And when you're protracting, just my chest was sort of caving forward a little bit on certain machines, so that's why I switched to this cable, and it does feel a lot better. So here I'm doing, well, it's supposed to be a rear delt row on the prime pin row machine. I realised afterwards that I shouldn't be, it's probably better to hold the handles in the overhand grip, or you could call it prone grip, rather than the neutral grip handles. It just makes it more rear delt focused. But yes, I've sat the seat a little bit lower, so I'm targeting rear delts rather than upper back. I've actually taken this out and just gone back to my reverse pec deck on the prime, but I think I'll put this back in at some point because I actually really liked it. I just couldn't really find a place for it in the new sessions, but I'll definitely want to use it again because it felt really nice. I think it's a good machine for this movement. Just make sure you use the right handles next time. And again, there's no protraction, retraction. It's just until you feel it in your rear delts, and that's it. You shouldn't be feeling a big squeeze, you know, right in your back, because it's not for your upper back. So the squeeze and the feeling should be in the rear delts, not in your upper back or in the middle of your scapulas. And then finally we finish off with some single arm bicep work, starting with the weaker side, which is my left bicep. I quite like this facing away from the cable because I really do feel that stretch whenever my arm is straightened. I probably am moving my elbow a little bit too much. You need to try your best on these movements to keep your elbow where it is and just isolate the bicep, but I think sometimes there is a little bit of a swing and it's quite hard to completely eliminate it, but I think mine is probably a little bit too much here. But yeah, I quite like doing single arm bicep work on at least one of my bicep exercises, just, you know, just to get proper isolation of each one, and I've kept this in my upper lower split. I'm just doing biceps once a week and then triceps once a week at the moment, and then I have an extra top-up session if I get a fifth day at the gym where I do biceps and triceps as well, because for figure you need some arms but not a lot. So yeah, that is really the reason for that. So just home from the gym, about to eat post-workout, which is 90 grams of cereal, 100 grams of berry, 30 grams of whey. Trying to get the best view of the house in terms of showing you that we're not messy, but we are, so that's all right there, is it? Anyway, so yeah, just about to eat that, which I'm very excited for because I'm hungry, not starving, but hungry. Session was lovely. Bicep tendonitis, which I keep calling my shoulder issue, but actually kind of realizing it is my bicep tendon. though I do think I have a shoulder issue, but what's flaring at the minute is like right at the front. It did flare up a little bit on my bicep exercise, and also a little bit on lat pull down, so, but only a little bit. So I give that session a 9.5 out of 10, and if I didn't have that little pain, it would be 10 out of 10. So it was pretty good, especially because my push session 2 days ago was horrendous because of the pain. But yeah, so rest of the day, bit of work to do, and grocery shopping, as I said, and then tomorrow is a rest day. I've got pole fit tomorrow, and cooking for the working week. Well, Thursday, Friday is my working week this week. But yeah. So, oh my goodness, my hair. Since I last spoke to you, I've had, oh my goodness, post-workout meal and another meal. We've done our grocery shop, and I'm just sitting doing a little bit of work now. Gonna watch some TV, and yeah, what time is it? It's just after 8, so hopefully get an early one tonight. But thank you all for watching. As I always say, if there's anything you want to see, or you want me to talk about, let me know. Do you like my Elder Wand pen? If you love Harry Potter, you will know what that is. Anyway, so I'm just going to do some work, TV, bed, and then do it all again tomorrow. So thank you for watching, and good night.